Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Hi. We are starting the cooking show. Yes. Hi. How is everyone? This is going to be a kind of a fun experience for us because we get to make a big amount of food, a large amount of food, and an incredibly bigness allowed. I sound like Donald Trump. It's going to be a bigly incredibleness. Yeah, we're going to be doing a cooking event which involves a lot of people watching me, and okay, it's just you. You're the one viewer that watches our YouTube show, and I thank you for doing that. I really do. You're awesome. Good job. What are we going to be making? Right. Well, it's going to be a sausage, but it's going to be turkey sausage. So a lot of you people who are against pork for religious reasons will like this turkey sausage. And it's going to be a rotini. So turkey rotini, but it'd be turkey veggie rotini. Okay? Veggie rotini. And it's going to be a pasta dish, right? So let's take a look at the ingredients. Hi, everyone. Let me get to the chat rooms first. Yeah, that's an important thing. And sip my cup of coffee. Right. Vaughn. Well, yeah, I cook for the whole week on Thursday. Plus, I teach people how to make lots of food at the same time for a very little. So it's kind of a dual purpose. Right, so let's get the main dish out here. We're going to go for $5 for 5 meals. Now it's going to be tough because these ingredients are, I've got a $1 box of rotini here. I'm not even using the whole thing, organic. I bought that on sale. If you can get 10 for 10 boxes, that's a good idea. Hang on just a second. 10 for 10 boxes is a great idea. By the way, I'm David Sponheim. In case many of you didn't know, I'm the American original, the only guy who's willing to start a political movement to unite the country. Go figure. Yeah, so who would have ever thought that we could find common ground where we no longer bicker about left versus right, you know? Now, we're going to get into the Periscope show. That's an important thing. I can't wait till the Democratic Convention features Joe Biden. Hopefully that'll be tonight. I'm hoping. Yeah, I want to see him speak in a cognizant way without stumbling. That'd be nice. Yeah, I know we're all looking forward to seeing him perform like the wonderful guy he's always been. I mean, except for the time when, you know, he used the N-word twice on camera. That was foolish, I thought. Of course, some people would think that doing blackface would be foolish too, so I guess we're even on that one. I had to do it. I couldn't get any coverage. I've been censored for the past 20 years, or 15 years it seems. It's growing by the day. We started this whole operation actually in 2005. Yeah, so it is 15 years. We started Cool Rock Party then, and we ran around the country talking about promoting a global Greenpeace kind of thing. But nobody seemed to understand it. It was not about rock and roll. It was about cooling the planet. They didn't get that. And now I've turned it into kind of a music site, coolrock.com. Anyway, I guess 5G tech, censorship, all these things are very important. No question about it. Plandemic, yeah. We'll leave that in the mix. Going live on Periscope. Here is the link. Survey said. You guys who want to watch this in low res, no question about it. You don't catch our link at third party. We'll leave that in the mix. Going live on Periscope. Here is the link. Survey said. You guys who want to watch this. Okay, I muted that. Good. All right. Okay, the first order of the business is to get that onion peeled, right? And I can't see you guys at iVlog and DLive, so hang in there. We gave up broadcasting on Twitch, in case you were wondering. Yeah, it was way too difficult to get any viewers, and since Capital Gains censored me after I got 10,000 views the first month, I never could recuperate, and he pretty much screwed over our Twitch IRL chances. Nobody's approached me, nobody in the media. There's a standing order to not talk to me. You know that. Nobody's going to negotiate any contract because they're not going to offer me anything until you guys make me the thing to talk about. And since you don't get that, we'll just hang out and talk every night. It's fun. It's actually great entertainment, news gathering, link sharing. I love it. I've never been an entertainer. I've always felt like my destiny was to be your president, and it's always been my life dream to continue doing what I'm doing. So luckily I facilitated that dream at a very young age, and it's been giving me tremendous benefits over the years. When I discovered the fruit enzyme spray, everything started getting better for me. I can't describe it. It's like yeah. Okay, it's kind of a warm day here in Washington. I'm living the dream, yeah. I really am. Sir Farts a lot says. We're going to get that onion. Let me go across the kitchen here and grab it. Here is the onion. I'm going to cut it. Let's take a look at that. Cut the onion. Did you see this pepper? I got that for 88 cents. Isn't that amazing? So the $1 Rotini, I'm going to give this $1. I'm going to give this $1. We're up to $3. I'm going to give this $1. $4. Uh-oh. I got a $2 piece of turkey. Okay, so I got to readjust, folks. Hang on. Yeah. So I do this frequently. I sometimes miscalculate my budget. Right, we're going to go for $6 today to make this complete. All right, thank you. And if you've got to buy things on sale. If you don't buy things on sale, you're going to be paying $20-30 for this meal, especially if you cook with brisket of beef. I've asked you not to use that image. This is your second mute for the 2-day period. No, I don't need to do anything on the... I'm just trying to give you guys a solution that's common sense and easy to talk to. And being I am easy to talk to, I can't think of a better communicator for the future of America than me. Far better than Donald Trump. Thank you, Tom. You're very kind to offer that. You're too sexy for $6. Too sexy for $6. Sexier than... Yeah. Pasta fagioli. Pasta fagioli. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I call it a turkey veggie rotini. I'm going to go ahead and cut the onion. Hang on. And get that burner up to level 3. There you go. There you go. Come on. This is the part I hate the most, pulling the onion skins off, Always keep your eye on the knife whenever you use it. Never take your eye off the knife. Here we go. Okay, a classic cut. We're gonna get that spray going here. This has been the talk of the town. Everybody talks about this. It's gonna be making its appearance at every show now, and the stroking action is what we're worried about here. Oh man, I better rinse my fingernails off. I was working in the soil. I'm gonna have to get that cleaned up. Okay, I'm gonna put some oil on a hot pan. Cat on a hot tin roof, right? All right, there we go. Isn't it amazing? I love this atomizer, and safflower oil. I can't brag about it enough. It's better than olive oil for a variety of reasons. Cut that onion. Cut that onion. A leak poll in 2019 in Kansas City placed Dave at 3%. Well, don't ever mention that other person's name or you'll get kicked out of the show. He's going to be prosecuted for impersonating a family member of mine. Yeah, sorry, you lost your account for a while. You're not allowed to use his name or the picture. Anytime you commit to doing that, you get closer to a permaban. All right, I got to teach these people all the time how to operate. Grill out, show us your grill. You know, I would show you the grill, but unfortunately, the neighbors would end up yelling at me going, "Hi, neighbor, hi!" So unfortunately, I don't have the ability to grill out. I'm thinking of putting a large wall between our house and the neighbor's wall. I just don't feel it's necessary to be close to your neighbors. I never really understood why people get to know their neighbors. Every neighbor I've gotten to know turned out to be a serial killer. So I've had a lot of bad experiences in my life. I can't tell you how many. Started back in 1982. The neighbor girls threw a rock over the window saying, "We're going to take you out." It's like, what? And I don't mean out to dinner. It's like, I don't need to know these people. You ever had a neighbor throw a rock over with saying that they're going to take you out? Well, I want to be close to the American people. I'm a very open person. Hi, Anderson. I can't tell you how open I am without filleting myself for you right now, which I'm not going to do. But the reality is you have to be a little hands-off with neighbors. The more you can know about your neighbor, the more you're stuck knowing about your neighbor. The less you know about your neighbor, the better. Good evening. And that includes you and your palatial estate there in Palm Beach, Florida. Yeah. Okay. I mean, look at, case in point, look at Rand Paul. Okay, get the onion on there. Look at Rand Paul. I mean, the neighbor walked up behind him, grabbed him, tackled him from behind, broke 6 ribs, nearly punctured his lung. He could have died. Just because his neighbor didn't like him. That's because his neighbor tried to confront him, and he allowed his neighbor to confront him. He should never have allowed the neighbor to even talk to him. Well, let's be clear. Boy, what do you think of Obama? You see how gaunt he looks? Man, he looks like he's some sort of a crackhead. Yeah, out in the middle of the street, man. I thought he was like a crack user or something. What do you think? Howie, relax. There's no monosodium glutamate here. Well, I don't think you know anybody as approachable as me in the world, and that's why I've done this show for 12 years, not just to spray fruit enzyme on my face and fountain of youth water while I talk, but to drink organic coffee and tell you that you know me. What you see is what you get. This shirt was the shirt that the USPS ate, and I salvaged it, I stitched it up, and I put this over a hole in the shirt. Yeah, I'm America. I keep moving on. That's right. I got it for free because they had to, discount me $17. The poor people that sent the shirt, the USPS ate, hopefully they got reimbursed. I know, 47 billionaires have made 750 billion since the pandemic started. I know. 7 billionaires have made close to 600 billion. So between 7 billionaires, 40 billionaires beyond that have been cleaning up, but the 7 billionaires made the lion's chunk of that, 600 billion. Let's compare statistics. Okay, that's heating up. I'm going to cover it up, raise it to level 6, and I got my organic Italian seasoning here. Pretty cool. I'm going to give it a shaker top of that. No more than a half a teaspoon. Whoops. I lost some. I'll have to grab it and drop it on the on the turkey. Okay, so we're going to start the turkey first. You get that pan up to a level 6, like I said, and go from there. That's a lump of turkey meat, yeah. Came out of the freezer. It comes in a package. You can buy them for about $2 when they're on sale. $2 a pound. You can't beat that deal for beef, or turkey rather. No. Well, being I'm the most popular person in the world now and well known around the globe, I don't want that to get to my head. I'm still Mr. David, who you can talk to anytime, just not personally. Because otherwise I'd have to set up a hologram of myself to talk to you. And that would be difficult. But someday we'll be doing it. We'll be talking interactively. I'm going to have my brain put in permanent storage. I've decided that they've been able to keep a pig's brain active for 2 or 3 months. Yeah, so I'm going to, when I reach the age of 200, I'm going to have my brain put in that permanent storage thing, so I'll be able to be like Yoda and control the world. What do you think? I just don't want Jeffrey Epstein to get near my mainframe. He wants to replicate, and he has 200 children, you know. They've been experimenting with his DNA at Harvard. I wonder if they got rid of his core samples. The Jeffrey Epstein collection. I've been watching too much. No, I really believe that they're going to be able to keep brains active. I mean, come on, think about it. What does a brain really need? A little glucose, some oxygen. Can't be that hard to keep a brain going. You should play this in the background. Yeah. Well, then again, if I could live past 200, that'd be great. I can't play anything in the background. Tom, YouTube would monetize me if I played a harpsichord with just, you know, a strum. Dun, ding. You've been back up. Yeah, don't ever talk about that person in the show. Ever. Thank you. Turkey log. You know, I don't think Caitlin ever had anything remotely that big to deal with. I think the surgery was probably pretty small. I don't think they can do anything really at this point. They're still learning. There will be sex toys soon. There's probably one available right now that does a couple things right. Tom, you keep repeating that, and that too is a censorable offense. I'm going to purge you. Because I read every chat, you've said that 6 times. Or was it 3? All right, see, the onions are getting hot. I'm going to go ahead and throw the meat in there. What I like to do is smear a little basil on the meat. So just go in there with a spoon and get a fresh spoon and grab that basil and just stick it on the meat there. Okay, see that? All right, I'm going to take the meat and drop it right on the hot onion pan. Face down, pesto down. You take anything in there pour that on there. That's a nice sizzle. You want to break that up right away. Kind of spread it around. All right. I know what you're going to say. Dave, what about all those herbs back in the back area? Yeah, you can use some basil. That would work. Put some basil on there. Extra Italian basil. I think we're not going to do Patti LaBelle tonight, but I am going to use Patti LaBelle's number 3 hot sauce. Now you can replace this with Cholula or Tabasco, whatever you prefer, depending on which one is your favorite. Yeah, so that's gonna I'm gonna cover it up. And there was a little water in there, so I'm gonna let it steam fry. Now this is my concept of steam frying. It's basically medium-high heat at the top of medium. It's a number 6 on an electric range. That's where I cook most of my food. Yeah, what about some turmeric? Not in this dish, Tom, unless you're really suffering from something. Yeah. Now, we have a problem in our chat room, and I'd appreciate it if our mods could take over at this point. I can't believe I have to do this. Hey, wait a second. Nick Cage, weren't you the guy that told me that they drink blood the other night? Oh, well, he's gone now. It turns out Nick Cage wasn't Nicolas Cage after all. He was just a troll. So scratch what I said about Nicolas Cage being in the chat room. Yeah, that must have been a troll. He had a really good line. He said he was Nicolas Cage. His new movie was coming out. He posted the link. And then he started saying that the elites drink blood. Of course they do. He just won't admit it. He's probably a stalker, right? I know. Well, it's a little warm for us to be cooking right now. Let me open up a window here. Welcome to my kitchen, everybody. There we go. I think the spa is going to start very soon here. It goes through a cycle filtration. Yeah, so we're going to use like a tablespoon of Tabasco sauce in this meal. I use Labelle number 3 myself, but that's just me. Well, I thought I had a mod. What happened to Trump Tardican? I don't know. Haven't seen him. Now, I'm not that into neighbors, like I said. You didn't get that portion of the conversation, or you just stepped into the show? All right. Wow. Okay, today we have a beautiful organic zucchini that I picked up for about $1. Yeah. I got it at Trader Joe's. And I picked up this at Trader Joe's too. It was 88 cents. It's amazing. But you notice how it's kind of leathery here? Yeah. You don't want to eat something that gets beyond that. That's about where you want to cook with it. Fresher is better, but that's still pretty good. Okay, we're just going to slice these down the side. And you pull the seed ball right out. You don't need that. You can plant it if you want. But it's a little late in the year to be planting pepper seeds, unless you've got a really good greenhouse. Then you can do it. Now, I haven't been posting to the show for a couple of weeks, so I'll start posting all the shows that I recorded in a couple days. I just did a compilation of the pork slider video, which is a disaster. I added that to the cabbage roll video with Sarah in it. And I'll upload that and then last week's show. And then keeping your fingers down like this whenever cutting. Don't cut with your fingers under the knife. Right, and I'm not going to use the Damask steel because the blades, I just sharpened them, and I'd rather not make them dull again, so I'll wait on using those. Bisect your zucchini and just slice like that. Okay, easy peasy, right? Now I'm using a really discounted tomato sauce. This I got for 80 cents, 88 cents, 50% off $1.79. So normally I would go with an organic blend, but when you see tomato sauce that cheap, you buy them in bulk. And wait a second. Yeah, it's one of those F-35s. It could be a growler, you never know. All right, let's finish this up. Okay, next stop, a spatula. I'm going to get my hot water going over here for my rotini. So, as you can see, I've got another burner over here. I'm going to start that up. Rear burner at level 6. I'll put a little salt in it when I'm ready. Taking my spatula, I'm going to give this a little turn around the turkey. Nice. Starting to get brown a little bit. Good. Now's a good time to throw all your vegetables in. But before I do that, I'm going to put a full heaping teaspoon of garlic from my California garlic collection. You don't want to drop this. It's a very, very, very pungent. Okay. Throw that in there, mix it up. Nice. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and toss the vegetables right in. Okay, and kind of mix them up a little bit. Okay, then in order for this to truly steam fry, I use olive juice that I get from a container of olives. And you always wonder, what do you do with that? Well, I put that on top. Not too much, no more than about a quarter of a cup, or eighth of a cup really. And just start steaming it up at level 6 still. The other one's at level 6 as well with the hot water. And I'm going to take a little pinch of my Himalayan sea salt, 85 different minerals, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in the hot water. What I like to do is throw a little bit of Italian seasoning in the water. So I'm going to throw this organic Italian seasoning in the water. Just a splash. All right. Hopefully that'll get hot enough to get the boil going. Yeah. All right. We won't be using an egg in this dish. No, I'm so sorry. I'm still holding on to my dozen of eggs I bought like a month ago. Well, I try to limit my cholesterol, you know, my LDL cholesterol. They say if you eat over 3 eggs a week, it's bad for you. It can cause prostate problems. Yeah, I know how. Horrific thing am I cooking? That's a really bad attitude, Isla Fries. You should give yourself a whipping with a wet noodle. Self-flagellate. Punish yourself. I'm kidding. I'm not asking anyone to self-flagellate. Unless, of course, you're. Thank you, Randall. Unless, of course, you are, Iranian, and that's a ritual. Facing north and whipping yourself on a daily basis gets you closer to Allah. Isn't it ironic that Allah seems to be their God but not ours? How does that work? Not so Allah? I spell it out. Okay, turkey, veggie, rotini. Is that close enough? Yeah. Pasta. Organic, yeah, it's organic. I get the organic O brand, which I'm so proud to have introduced the O brand to Safeway. In 1985, my company presented it to the Safeway guy. Well, you know the whole story. I'm going to throw all that in the hot water once it's boiling. Now is a good time to just ignore the pan and let it cook. because in about 15 minutes max, or 10 minutes really, your vegetables will be steam fried, and you won't need to worry much. And then they'll be halfway done. And then the tomato sauce goes in, and then shares all those ingredients together at a high temperature. This is kind of the recipe behind my spaghetti, earliest show I did back in 2000 and I think 10 we started this. I don't know. I've got 100 and some odd recipes now. Oh, well, it turns out I was selling organic food back in the 80s. One of my ideas for a company was to market organic food. And I did a little bit of that. Sold organic wine and things. Put out a flyer to all the markets across the country with a response postcard, self-addressed. And I got a couple of responses, and one of my calls was in Los Angeles from the Safeway general manager. So I went in there, 8:30 in the morning. All the guys from New York were there, people selling all their wares, all their frozen food items, all this. Everyone was dressed to the T, you know. I was casual, mostly. I mean, I dressed well, but it wasn't like I was dressed with a suit and tie like they were. And I was sitting there with 9 people, vendors, and I get called in. I'm the first call. Anyway, I showed him all my different information packets. I gave details. I sold him on it. And he said, I am so happy with organic food. This is incredible. This is great. I mean, he was like elated. It was like I inflated his idea, his whole idea of succeeding in organics. The markup is about 30%, 33% on average. Here's my spa. Anyway, he said, I want to do this. And I said, well, which product do you want to buy? Oh, I don't want to buy anything from you, he said. It was like, and my expectations went, boom. But I love this idea. So I felt like I was doing the right thing at the right time. So I really did seed the idea, and 12 years later, they were in manufacturing, full production. They started producing their own organic line, the O brand. Okay, we're good. See that steam coming up? That's a sign your vegetables are ready to move. Okay, take your tomato sauce and dump it right on top of those vegetables. Beautiful. But first, put your tablespoon of hot sauce down. That's enough to make that really good. Just cover the whole thing. And I always add a little water to the can, get the rest of it out, you know. Okay, keep that at level 6 and just start really cooking everything together. You can give it a little stir in about 5 minutes. But yeah, the tablespoon of hot sauce is just like, wow, I really like the spaghetti. Where do you get it? You know, everyone starts liking it. I don't know what it is. It's this cayenne that activates their taste buds and gets them, you know, really taste. It makes food a little bit better. That's all I've ever said with spaghetti sauce. Now, I've experimented with other things like lemon. You can use, if you're salt sensitive. Now that can has salt in it, but I didn't add a lot of other salt besides the olive juice. But if you're salt sensitive, you can add a squeeze of lemon juice to a no salt tomato sauce, and it really makes it happen. It's like, whoa, really? It's great. I've had a lot of compliments about my lemon juice spaghetti. Kind of like Biden, how he likes kids sitting in his lap, you know. Well, if your food is COVID tested and has gone through the PCR test, which is totally useless, you'll know if your food is COVID positive or negative, depending on how depressed it is. I'm kidding. I don't think anyone's testing food products except for the leader of Nigeria. I do have powdered milk from 1998. I have powdered milk from 1957. I've got that survival kit. that I haven't ever used. Yeah, my oldest food item is a survival kit from 1957. It's got pancake material, all kinds of stuff in it. Original carnation packages of dried milk from 1957. No, I'm not going to drink it. I'd only eat that if we're all, barely alive. Well, in a way I am, Rodney. I'm always prepared for Y2K, even though it's over. I'm building my entire system for Y3K now. I figured it's 980 years ahead of time. I think I'm on the right track. If I live as long as Methuselah, or maybe longer, I'll be ready. Okay. All right, everything's going very well. I got a full roaring boil over here. I'm going to go ahead and throw my rotini in the boiling water in the back. Just open the box like this, lift the cover, and drop it in. And take the spatula and give it a little stir. I did put sea salt in there, so you got that going for you, and a little bit of Italian seasoning. I'm going to leave the cover slightly ajar and keep it on level 6 for a bit. Hey, thank you, Scissor Fight. Appreciate it, man. I don't, any type of statement like that, it's a bannable offense. Yeah, you can't come in and ever say that I dislike anybody of color. I like black people. My God, what's wrong with that guy? Can you believe he actually says things that he purposely tries to mold me as somebody I'm not? Kamala had fake clappers on her. Yeah, I noticed she had teeth work. Yeah. Okay, you can turn this down to level 3 and give it a stir. Break up all the meat. Nice. Yeah, you're good. You can actually turn this to a simmer now. I'm going to drop it to a simmer. It's got a full roaring boil, so it's just setting now. It's all uniting. It could be a sodium overload, but I don't really worry about that. If you have heart disease, yeah, definitely get the no salt tomato sauce. But, I have no problems there. My entire body I'm more like a 25-year-old. Any questions? Did the Democrats mention the butt plugs that they want to install in people without our permission? I don't think they mentioned that in the debate, or in the convention, rather. They definitely didn't mention the debate. There was no mention of butt plugs in the debate. But they also didn't mention the safety of the 5G network. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You knew that was going to happen. Yeah, give it another stir at this point. If it's boiling over, keep it roaring boil. Rotini cooks, it takes a while. Yeah, they never talk about the dangers of the 5G network. They never talk about... Yeah, keep the cover off. They never talk about the dangers of pesticides or herbicides or genetically modified food or toxic water in our 50% of our cities. They never talk about all the truth. You notice that? They just talk about mindless ideals that they're going to do someday, and they never do it. It's absurd. And then all they do is spend money, and then they say, well, how else are you going to pay for it? We have to tax people. How about reapportioning money in places instead of the hands of corporate pigs, and instead of giving Amazon.com a cash break, this guy's reeling in the money off of USPS, and we're still... Trump, when he copied my idea of going after Amazon and the USPS rates, you're not supposed to just mention it in the news and walk away. You're supposed to fight for things, Donald. You're supposed to stand up to the Bezos bozo. You're supposed to say, no, you're not going to get discounted rates on Amazon USPS shipping. It's ridiculous. The average package is $2 for him. We would pay 20 for that object to get to your house. But oh, he pays 2. We're losing money hand over fist, and Trump didn't do a damn thing to correct that. And now Amazon, Bezos is cleaning up off of this pumped up BS story of a spread of a disease. And the Democrats are acting like, oh, this is getting worse. Oh, we better put bigger masks on. I call BS. Hey, we got a roaring boil back there on the Rotini. You notice I cook in the back burner. Yeah, that's a good idea. Don't ever cook in the front burner. Especially boiling water. Very bad combo. Yeah, it could be acquaintance. That boiling water gets near the front of the stove, forget it. Anybody could get burned to crisp. Yeah, a kid I knew when I was 8 years old, when I saw this kid down the street, he just literally wanted to know what was on the stove, so he grabbed the whole thing and it poured right on top of him. His whole front of his body, including his face, was completely boiled. I'm sure he had scars for life. Hang on, there's a call. Yeah, you can't never say things like that. What's wrong with you, man?
Dave, I said that you love the blacks. I mean,
no, you didn't. No, you said quite the opposite. You did not say that. You said the opposite of that.
What did I say?
Read your own chat, man, when you write. I'm going to unban you for this one time. But yeah, don't ever do that. Don't ever try to paint me out as a person who dislikes anybody. Yeah, you really screwed up there, Rodney. Because I'm not a person who dislikes people based on any one particular thing. Hey, take care. Bye-bye. Gosh, can you believe that guy? Act right. Jeez. Okay, we're almost done. It takes about 8 to 10 minutes. This is a really fast meal if you're on the go and you don't want to make something for the freezer. You can pack it away in the freezer, it's no problem. I'm going to turn that burner down and shut everything off. I put the cover back on. If you're cooking outdoors, you want to keep the heat in. Like if you're cooking up about 5,000 feet in a mountain trip, you definitely want to keep that cover down and let it cook in its own heat. And then put the boiling water under your mattress. Yeah, and then heat yourself during the night from the boiling water if you're in a survival situation. Yeah, you would sift the Rotini out, leaving the boiling water under your mattress. Hang on, I got another salute. This is an F-18. Our fighting men and women who are up there busting butt to fly old contraptions full of rusted metal, which take all kinds of flame retardant to control when they land, so that the entire neighborhood could be polluted with carcinogenic material and the Navy could give a crap. That's what I'm saluting. The sound of 120 decibels frying the eardrums of everybody in this area. Well, flame retardant is something they need. They said we can't do without it. It works so well. So they're just dumping it in the water 10 miles away. Thankfully, it's 10 miles away, though. Okay, we're almost done. Let's get to this next step. All right, we're going to take the Rotini. And when it pops up to this level on the surface like that, you know you're done. Put a little bit in the container. I always run water down with hot water so it doesn't shock the plumbing, Hot water repeatedly on a plumbing system will crack your pipes. But you go ahead and learn yourself. I mean, I'm not going to give you expert information. We have somebody impersonating somebody and doing something. It's almost like these are robots. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do a thing that I always like to do with my pasta. You can try this at home. Spray a little oil on it when you put it in, like that. Take a little bit more of this basil pesto. Now, you don't have to do this, but you could also use butter or something. I'm going to put it right in the mix, like that. Kind of move it around. It's kind of flavoring the pasta shells. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Check that out. Hey, can you hand that to the other room? Thank you. All right. Appreciate it. All right, cool. And then take the entire sauce, which is pretty much done, and cover it. Look at that. Whoops. Try not to go over the pan, which I'm doing. All right. Okay, we're good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put that, move that around with the spatula. Get some hot water in that stainless steel, otherwise it'll cake up. Okay, shuffling it in like that. All right, moving there. All right, look at that. That is incredible. That is going to be so great. Yeah, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, Dave, what next? Well, I'm going to go with a little bit of tender loving Parmesan. All right. All right, here we go. Kind of lightly dust it. And let it set. All right. Buy in bulk whenever possible. Okay, this concludes another wonderful meal. I'm sure you could feed more than 5 people with this, so I'm going to go with 8 people. I think we could do 8. It does look amazing, doesn't it? Okay, $6 for 8 is the final decree. Enjoy, and thank you for attending this wonderful experience. I'll be in the other show in about 2 minutes. Take care.